two rich people threw a fit online and threw the government upside down.
I was in constant contact with President Trump.
That is not good for America.
He knew exactly what we were doing and why.
This is a bipartisan deal that got struck by elected officials.
And this is a good outcome for the country. I think he certainly is happy about this outcome as well.
The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Welcome back to the Devore Darkness Show. In this video today, we're talking about the funding bill that passed last night and was signed by President Biden. Now, as a result, there's a few lies the media is pushing about that bill, and we're going to debunk those in this video today. And Bernie Sanders and others is now pushing a new lie about the influence from Elon Musk and the X platform. We'll discuss that as well. More stories, of course, in this video, but let's just start with that official announcement of the bill passing and what Speaker Mike Johnson had to say.
On this vote, the yeas are 366, the nays 34, one member voting present, two-thirds being in the affirmative. The rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
We are excited about this outcome tonight. We're grateful that everyone stood together to do the right thing. And having gotten this done now as the last order of business for the year, we are set up for a big and important new start in January. We can't wait to get to that point.
Okay, so we should note not everyone actually stood together because 34 House Republicans voted against the CR and it passed with Democratic support. So
now, of course, just like anything else in life, there are pros and cons. The pro about them passing this bill is the government's going to be funded until mid-March. The con, though, is what Trump wanted with the debt ceiling. An increase or a suspension was not placed in this bill, so he did not get that in the end. And we do not have a reaction from the president-elect himself yet, because clearly he would post it on Truth Social. But we did have a reaction from the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. He did confirm that he did speak with Trump and Elon Musk. Here's what he said.
I was in constant contact with President Trump throughout this process, spoke with him most recently about 45 minutes ago. He knew exactly what we were doing and why, and this is a good outcome for the country. I think he certainly is happy about this outcome as well. Elon Musk and I talked within about an hour ago, and we talked about the extraordinary challenges of this job. And I said, hey, you want to be Speaker of the House? I don't know. He said, this may be the hardest job in the world. I think it is. But we're going to get through this. We are going to unify this country, and we are going to bring the America First agenda to the people beginning in January. We cannot wait to get started. I hope you all have a great holiday.
Now, he referenced the conversation with Elon Musk about being Speaker of the House because clearly there's been some rumors that maybe Mike Johnson should not run for Speaker of the House again, and we should put someone from the outside as Speaker of the House, which actually is legal technically. However, of course, Elon Musk isn't going to do that. We know that. That's just rumors, people trying to spark up drama. But here's what the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had to say about the bill passing. Watch.
House Democrats have successfully funded the government at levels requested by President Biden. This is a victory for the American people. We have successfully advanced the needs of everyday Americans, but there are still things to be worked on, and we look forward to that fight in the new year.
Now, as you heard, they're going to try to spin this as a win for President Biden, and the only reason why this passed is because of Democrats, not Republicans, and that's why now what they're doing is trying to push this whole narrative about Elon Musk and how we are headed into an oligarchy. Here is Bernie Sanders saying just that.
Take a deep breath and appreciate what's going on here. The wealthiest person in the world, who spent at least $277 million to elect Donald Trump in a Republican Congress, has now claimed complete ownership of that party. And what he is saying is, hey, Republicans, forget your constituents, forget your constitutional responsibilities. If you don't do what I, Elon Musk, want you to do, you're out of office. And I have the money to do just that. My friends, what we are looking at here has nothing to do with democracy. What we are looking at here is oligarchy. This is up and up, Government by the billionaire class, for the billionaire class.
Okay, so we've heard these same talking points from people like Bernie Sanders, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, that billionaires are the problem and obviously controlling Congress, and they are threatening individuals that if they don't do X, Y, or Z, they're going to get primaried out. Now, can we all be honest here and not be naive? This has been happening since the beginning of time. Now, it's just that Elon Musk is public about it. You don't think George Soros has been doing this? You don't think there's other individuals that made sure that certain congressmen or congresswomen did not win re-election because they did not go along with what they wanted them to do? At least Elon Musk has the balls to go on X and say it publicly, so there's no misunderstandings. Now, in regards to the oligarchy claim, I believe we're already living in that period of time. Let's just be honest. Like I stated, George Soros is a great example of that, of course. Now, here's Scott Jennings shutting down Van Jones about this idea as well. Watch.
There are big fancy college words called oligarchy, plutocracy that folks tonight might want to look up. It's called rule by rich folks. And that's what we're dealing with. A bunch of rich folks, two rich people threw a fit online and threw the government upside down. That is not good for America. Now, did the bill go from big to little? What happened is that the bipartisan deal that got struck by elected officials of our country were overthrown by two billionaires throwing a fit, and it's not even January.
Scott, what's your take on that?
Well, if Van is concerned about unelected officials running the government, I would invite him to review the last 4 years of the Biden administration and maybe pick up the Wall Street Journal this week. We've apparently had a president that's so diminished that his staff has been hiding it from the American people and making key decisions on behalf of our government, despite never having been elected to anything at all. So if you're concerned about it tonight, maybe take a look over the last 4 years. Look, I think ultimately all's well that ends well. The government did not shut down. We're not in any kind of crisis over the holidays here. And when the Republicans get sworn in January and Trump comes to the office on January the 20th, they're going to have to come together as a team and decide, are we going to work together or not?
Okay, so let's just take a moment. If you're getting value from our channel, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support us further, go to the link in the description below, shop the Bird Store, or buy us a cup of coffee. Now, Scott Jennings pointed out, again, the hypocrisy that exists with the Democratic Party. They accuse you of being the very thing that they are, right? Now, this takes us to their next hoax that they're trying to push is that clearly Republicans did not want to fund cancer research for children because the bill was reduced from 1,500 pages down to 116. They also blame Elon Musk for that, and we're going to debunk this. But let's first hear the lie.
Because they would rather enact massive tax cuts for their billionaire donors than fund cancer research for children.
Where Elon Musk's fingerprints are all over this. Because, for example, what this bill says is, let's get rid of funding for research on children with Down syndrome and on sickle cell anemia. Let's get rid of those things so that we can make way for tax cuts for billionaires.
Also, you say the people wanted this. The richest man in the world wanted this. Elon Musk did, and programs that came out of it. What's your problem with a bipartisan cancer research program for $190 million? A drop in the bucket of what this is. Those are the kinds of things that came out of this.
And here's Liz with TikTok on X putting this up. Elizabeth Warren repeats the lie that Elon Musk and Republicans blocked funding for child cancer research. A standalone bill for child care research funding passed the Republican-controlled House in March of this year, by the way, and got held up in the Democrat-controlled Senate, which was led by Chuck Schumer. So, of course, again, they accuse us of doing the very thing that they are doing themselves. They said that Elon Musk blocked cancer research for children, but they were the ones that actually were blocking it. Now, at the very last minute, of course, it has been passed, but we're just highlighting how hypocritical and how much they're willing to lie straight to your face. And Elon Musk also responded. He said, lying Liz Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas. And this is why you're continuing to see this fight from the media against people on X, right? They label us misinformation. They don't believe X is credible, even though the results continue to show that X is the #1 source for news. And why is that? Because of this story I'm talking about right now. If I had turned on CNN or ABC or any of those other channels, they would lie to me and say, no, it was the Republicans that blocked it. But when we actually do the research, that's not true whatsoever. Now, here's Joe Rogan echoing the same thing. Watch.
Like, the X is the #1 news source on Earth.
Yeah.
On Earth. It's the most trusted because it's the only one that's not fucked with.
Yep.
So even if someone's incorrect, the community notes will correct them.
Yep.
The community notes are rock solid. It's a great way to find out what's real and what's not real. And then you look in the comments and you see people debating it. And it's happening in real time. And it's happening whenever something breaks. And it's way better than what you're going to get on corporate-controlled media. It's way better.
Guys, I mean, the #1 source I go to produce this show in the first place is through X, right? Because I get to see both sides of it. I get to see community notes, and I get to see the news in real time. There's no debating this, all right? X is the #1 source for news. However, don't tell the folks at MSDNC that, because we know they're in a free fall right now, and they're continuing to be stuck in denial about this. Here they are complaining about this fact.
We have never been here before. And Jim Vandehei, you've got new reporting out this morning for Axios about the government funding fight and how it captures the power and flaws of what you call the new information ecosystem, which is, in many ways, Elon Musk and X.
I mean, this is your future foretold. You might like it, you might hate it, but it is. Like, you now have Musk controlling the dominant organ of the Republican media industrial complex. There's nothing close. He single-handedly, with his tweets and his followers, killed that bill. There's no doubt about that. I think the aspirational part of what he's saying probably is a good thing, right? Like, we do spend way too much money as a country, and the process by which we do it is often asinine. And I think that was like the fundamental thing that started this. But now you do have somebody who, at least in this interim period, is arguably the most powerful person in politics and is totally unelected.
Obviously, the Axios CEO, he doesn't get it. He's stuck in the past. I always say this. These guys are like Blockbuster. They refuse to adapt to the changing times, right? And they sooner or later will be obsolete. And that's what takes us to this next clip, because they're so out of touch. They don't understand what's going on. Let's listen to Scott Jennings explain this perfectly about why X is so key. And it's not really even about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, it's not the tweets. It's the reaction. I talked to a member of Congress today who told me that when the tweets started, immediately people from their own district started calling and asking questions about, what are you spending my money on? What's going on here? It's not the tweets. It is how people are reacting, and when they find out what's going on in Washington, then they pick up the phone. It's not the tweets, it's the people. So you say it's not about the people. I'm telling you, the people were flooding the congressional offices with calls today. There's something to be said for that being part of the process. And is it a little messy here at night? Fine. I don't have a problem with messiness.
In other words, people want answers. They're more aware than they've ever been. Now, due to technology, we can get the news and what's happening in real time. So you're not going to continue to lie to us and think we're not going to question. That is the problem for the legacy media at this point. And it's truly a cause and effect. The more they continue to lie and push the narrative and stay out of touch with the average American, the more X and independent journalism and other independent sources of news will continue to rise and be in demand. All right, now I want to take a moment to just shout out some of the people I got to meet at America Fest here in Phoenix, Arizona. Some of the people that watch this channel, support me, my fans. Thank you so much. It was great meeting you. If you are here and you did see me, don't be afraid to come say hi. I'd love to meet you. And I can't wait to see President-elect Trump speak on Sunday. All right, now it's time for you to put your answer in the comment section below to this particular question. Who do you think won in this entire fight over the funding bill? Did the establishment win? Did MAGA win? Did certain other individuals win? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, a person who clearly is not winning, that is Joe Biden. He's been silent as a mouse about everything that's been going on. We already know that bombshell story dropped, exposing his mental decline actually was proven to be true. So for all you individuals that was labeled a conspiracy theorist about Joe Biden's mental decline, you have been proven correct by the Wall Street Journal. And yes, we did a video on this. And yes, you could take a look at it yourself. All you have to do is click on it because it's coming up right now.